Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding. Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Just look at the phenomenal tricep development of Silver Era legendary bodybuilder Bill Pearl. Wow, that's right. Today's topic is triceps development, and in this video I'm going to share with you some unusual Silver Era exercises performed using the cable station to help with your triceps development. In an article I recently read by Charles A. Smith, he explained some unique ways of using the cable station for developing the triceps. As most of us know, everyone wants a strong muscular arm, and seeing that the triceps makes up such a large mass of the upper arm, it makes sense to develop it to its absolute maximum, as Bill Pearl certainly did. Man, that tricep, I swear, it looks like a tumor. It's huge. So let's look at the exercises that were recommended in this article so that we may all develop titanic triceps like those of Bill Pearl's. Enjoy. Now, prior to listing the exercises mentioned in this article, I just want to mention a bit about the importance of the use of the cable station as recommended by Charles A. Smith. He states, for example, that legendary bodybuilders from the past, such as Reg Park and Clarence Ross, and even further in the Bronze Era, such as Alan P. Mead, a bodybuilder which I covered, you have these examples as athletes that had fantastic triceps development. And what made them so unique, I guess, in their development is that they all incorporated not just the barbell and the dumbbell, but also the cable station, especially in their triceps development. The ability to perform unusual exercises at different angles is one of the highlights, I guess, of being able to use, one of the advantages of being able to use the cable station. And it also allows one to practice the peak contraction principle, in which one uses exercises that allows one to maximally contract the muscle under maximum load. And the exercises that are actually given in this article by Charles A. Smith, he actually developed these through reading much material from JamesMennell, who's basically a physiotherapist, and wrote books such as Joint Manipulation, Pulley Therapy, and Spring Therapy. And so you're going to see some rather unusual variations of tricep extension exercises and push downs, etc. today. Mostly the rep range and set range that is recommended is 3 sets of anywhere between 10 to 20 reps. And he does recommend that after you do your workout and, for example, may incorporate some of these exercises, it's a good idea, because you are trying to maximally contract at the end of your workout, to massage ideally with olive oil. And at least back then, to have your malted milkshake, or as nowadays you would have your protein shake at the end of your workout, of course. Now let's get straight to the exercises. Now, the first exercise recommended is the lying face down triceps extension. As I said, unusual variations. Normally one would be performing this exercise kneeling down, which was actually a variation advocated by Vince Gironda and Larry Scott. But if you wish to perform it on the floor, you would have to use a gym mat, and you would have to obviously lay down on the floor as shown in the figure, with your upper arms and your body flat down on the floor, face down, your forearms bent at the elbows and going behind your head. Your partner or someone in the gym can pass the bar onto you so you can grab it, and you want to extend with the elbows only, with no swing at all, of course. And that's the beauty of doing it face flat onto the floor, because it prevents cheating. You want to extend the arms completely, and that's your first repetition. And then you want to repeat this again. You want to use a weight that will allow you to handle 3 sets of 10 repetitions initially, and once you can perform 3 sets of 20 reps, you would move up in poundage. Now, here is another exercise which I truly believe is the true triceps push down, because you are actually pushing or pressing the bar and you're pressing it down, right? The commonly named pushdown is actually more like a standing tricep extension, which I talk about later. But the tricep pushdown was another favorite of Vince Gironda, and it basically hits the outer head beautifully. You want to grab the bar with your upper arms, as you can see in the figure, parallel and level with your shoulder height. And you want to then have your elbows out to the sides. So it's kind of like doing a really wide dip grip kind of thing, right? And as your elbows flare out to the sides, your forearms naturally will point downwards. And so you're going to end up in the starting position as shown in the figure, and then you're going to press down or push down with the bar. That's your first rep, and you want to repeat this motion again and again, and you want to perform or use a weight that you can perform 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Again, once you can achieve 3 sets of 20 reps, you can move up in poundage. Now, the standing tricep extension is typically what most people would normally call nowadays a tricep pushdown, but it's not really a pushdown, it's an actual extension because you're extending the arm, although you are also extending the arm in a pushdown. Anyway, it was a favorite of Reg Park, a favorite movement of Reg Park. And again, you perform this by standing. You want to be standing in front of the cable station. You want to grab the bar, as you can see, with a pronated grip. Keep the arms, that is the upper arms, this is the key, tight against the sides, and this will prevent you from cheating. And this also takes the stress away from the shoulders. A lot of people complain that it puts a lot of stress on the shoulders, but if you keep your arms tight against the sides, it'll take a lot of the stress away from the shoulders. And you want to extend the arm and repeat the motion. Again, use a weight you can perform now for 3 to 8 repetitions with a target of 3 to 15. Once you can perform 15 reps with that particular weight, you can move up in poundage. Now, this is another popular exercise seen nowadays. Most people perform it standing again. Charles A. Smith in the article recommends performing it kneeling for further isolation with your back to the cable station. You want to kneel with your upper arm that is resting flat on a bench or on a box, and you want to grab the loop attachment. And as you place your upper arm flat on the box or the bench with your grip, as you can see, pronated, only a single arm at a time working, your forearms will be pointing up to the ceiling in the starting position as shown in the diagram. You extend the arm and you repeat this motion. Again, use a weight you can handle for 3 to 8 repetitions with the goal of attaining 3 to 15 repetitions with the particular weight, and then you can increase the poundage. Now, the bent over triceps kickback is typically done with dumbbells. The advantage of using a cable lift, of course, is you have resistance from the very beginning of the motion. You want to stand and bend forward. You grasp the loop attachment as shown in the diagram with your upper arm parallel to the floor and to the sides of your body, again tight against your sides of your body. And as your forearm retracts, your knuckles are going to face up to the ceiling and almost hit your shoulder. And that's the starting position. You then extend the arm behind you like you're kicking the arm backwards, hence it's called the triceps kickback. You use a weight you can handle for 3 sets of 10 repetitions with the goal of reaching 3 times 15 repetitions, at which point you can increase the poundage. This second last exercise given, another unusual variation. This is the face up lying triceps extension. Again, the whole thing with the cable station is not just the variety of angles, but by doing these variety of angles and setting yourself up in all these unusual positions, you actually can really prevent cheating and really isolate the muscle, in this case the triceps. You can see that the person here is in the diagram is lying flat on their back. They grasp the bar with their upper arms against the bench, that is lying on the bench, and their arms tight against their own body. This allows the forearm to move only at, the arm, I should say, to move only at the elbow, and therefore the forearm is the only thing that's moving, allowing complete isolation of the triceps. You have the forearms perpendicular to the upper arms in the starting position, and then of course you extend the arms and you repeat this motion using a weight that you can handle for 3 to 10 reps with the goal of reaching 3 to 15 reps, at which point you increase the weight used for the exercise. The last exercise given, I really have to admit, I've actually used myself recently because I think it's marvelous. It's actually a therapeutic exercise for increasing your range of motion and preventing injury. I think it's absolutely brilliant. As I said, Charles A. Smith looked at several physiotherapy books written by JamesMennell, and this is what led him to, I guess, design these unusual exercises, including this one, which I'm pretty sure he just, took right from the book. As mentioned, it's a physiotherapeutic exercise which increases the mobility and the stability of your shoulder joint and elbow joint. You want to perform it standing with your upper arm by your side, and you want to grab the loop attachment so that the forearm is pulled behind your back. Now this has a great pull on the shoulder joint, and for myself, for example, I've had 2 operations on my right shoulder joint with my pectoral, right biceps, and right shoulder rotator cuff all being reattached in several places. This has been a brilliant exercise for truly exercising my injured joint. And with your forearm behind your back and using, and I really emphasize this, very light weight, you extend the arm behind you and repeat. You want to use 4 sets of 8 reps. That is a weight that you can handle for 4 sets of 8 reps with the goal of reaching 4 to 12 reps. And I'm telling you, it is an excellent remedial exercise. It's fantastic. If you're interested in learning more about silver era bodybuilding techniques, I suggest you get to my website www.goldenerabookworm.com, where you'll find many titles from Reg Park, Steve Reeves, and many others, such as rib cage and chest development, Reg Park's original 5x5 routines, and how to develop your waistline from Steve Reeves, how to develop broad shoulders, again from Steve Reeves, all available on my website www.goldenerabookworm.com. So I do hope you have enjoyed this video looking at some very unusual exercises using the cable station for triceps development. And I leave you with another fantastic shot of a very young Bill Pearl. I mean, this is the one body part to me that really stood out in Bill Pearl, and that is that enormous tricep development. It is just incredible. Every time I think of tricep, I think of Bill Pearl. Man, that thing was so big, he could have donated some of that muscle to his calves, for God's sake. They were just huge, enormous triceps development. Fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up, and thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give me your comments. I always enjoy your comments. If you'd like to support my research, please donate via PayPal. You can become a patron, and you can also, of course, visit my website for out-of-print books and courses on old school bodybuilding, as well as ones that I've written myself. And if you want to get in touch to collaborate, please do so via email. Again, hope you've enjoyed watching the video. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now. To take full advantage of my affiliation with NSP Nutrition and Old School Labs, please visit their respective websites and use codes GUB20 or Bookworm12 to get a discount off their selected products. And for an entertaining look at the history of bodybuilding's supplement industry, I would highly recommend watching Subs the Movie, which I have collaborated in, available at Amazon Prime and Vimeo.